Hollywood. That's gooey, ballyhooly Hollywood, where any office boy or young mechanic...
Hi, I'm Brenden, and I like to film, write, and from here to time I also act. I hope to become a director in the film industry, directing some of the ideas that I've had. The reason why I want to be a film director is because I just like filming movies. What really motivated me to become a director was, well, my dad for a little bit was in the film industry, and so was my mom, so that also helped to motivate me a little bit. And my dad actually introduced me to an old movie that you've all probably heard of called Citizen Kane, that I found, even though it was an old movie, really entertaining, and I fell in love with the movie. So I think some of the qualities that you have to have as a director is, first of all, you have to have creativity. That's a big important part. And second, just have the motivation to actually do it. Because if you want to become a director, you have to have a lot of motivation. Otherwise, you know, when you're working in the movies one day and somebody turns down your idea, you can't just give up. You have to keep going on and as long as it takes for your idea to actually be made into a movie.
Do you have any of these qualities?
Yeah, I do. I have both. A lot of the things that I've also done, like I said, in my free time, was write different types of stories. And one of the stories that I've written for such a long time was a story called Max and Her Friends and Foes, which the story revolves on a young alchemist named Max who gets alchemy powers that he never really had. It was just a genetic type of thing, unfortunately, that he never really got those powers. So he gets it after a sort of a bad accident happens. So the story is about him trying to stop a dark alchemist named Dark Shadow, who has wants to recreate the world in his own evil image, like his own bad image of how he thinks the world should be, because he's a sort of a person who wants a quest for power, and you know, Max just doesn't want that to happen. I was a kid when I started writing these stories, so as I've always grown older, he's always followed me around. Like, he's been a sort of person that's always been with me, like a character that has always been with me, and I guess will always be with me. When I was 8 years old, I had a cancer called leukemia. It was a big change in my life.
It was the most difficult single obstacle that we had to overcome as a family. I can tell you that Brenden is my hero. I really, you know, I say that often. He's a trooper because he never complained. He never said, why me, why mom, you know. I think if anything, maybe sometimes a parent will ask that question, why my child, but why any child? Cancer treatment has its difficult moments, and but never ever have any thoughts of giving up or any thoughts of defeat. You always think that you're going to triumph and that you will persevere through this challenge. And so I think that's what he's walking away from, is, you know, perseverance and tenacity and, you know, the belief in himself, because at the end of the day, it was Brenden who pulled through. He had great doctors, CHLA, where he was treated as an amazing, amazing hospital, but at the end of the day, it was Brenden who pulled through. With the love and support of his family, but ultimately, he's the one who did it.
But there was some voice that told me, you know, that you have to make it through this. You know, you can't let this be the end of you. You can't, you know, let this, you know, take over your life. And I thought, well, that's a good point. And I guess his voice was a combination of my instinct and my conscience that told me to do this. Because, you know, it told me that I have to make it through this, because I can't just let this change my life.